Hello, and welcome back to the Cha-Cha series, where we connect human aesthetics to creative health awareness. Again, I'm Maggie Phillips, one of the dance fellows with ArtistYear. Last week, Kirsten taught you about fascia and how to stretch to wake up your achy body. Today, we're going to zoom out of the body a little bit more and talk about alignment and posture, an important concept not only in dance, but in general health and wellness. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have really achy shoulders and hips, and often this is because I just have bad posture throughout my day, especially working at home right now. Even right now, I'm sitting with my shoulders a little too far forward, and I'll probably have some pain because of that later. If you want to learn some tricks on how to improve your posture, keep watching, and you may want a mirror so you can see your body more easily. So feel free to pause and grab one and get ready to move. Before we start, I want to acknowledge that every body is different. This is about finding your alignment for your own body, which will look different than mine. You know your body best, so be gentle and patient with yourself. For general, full body alignment, I first want you to think of your body as three primary weights: the head, the upper abdomen, and the pelvis. These are the three heaviest parts of your body. Your center of gravity sits right between the pelvis and upper abdomen body weights. The center of your head weight can be found by sticking your fingers on the small flap of your ears. Imagine your fingers are connected through the skull. Where they meet in the middle is the center of this weight. This is also the place where your spine connects to the skull, as discussed in episode 2. Take a moment to visualize this spot in the middle of your head. The center of your upper abdomen weight can be found by placing your hands on the sides of your ribs. Feel how deep they are. Using your 2 pointer fingers, try to find the middle of that depth and imagine that your fingers are connected in the middle of your chest. This is the second weight center. Take a moment to feel this spot in your chest. Lastly, find the top of your hip bone level with your belly button. This is your pelvis. Then find the hard bone on your upper thigh just below that. This is actually part of your femur leg bone, and it's what hurts when you lie on a hard floor on your side. With your thumb touching your pelvis and your middle finger touching your femur, find the center with your pointer fingers. One last time, imagine these fingers are connected in the middle of your body. This is the center of your third body weight. Pause for a moment to visualize this weight center. Again, you have your head weight centered here, your abdomen weight centered here, and your pelvis weight centered here. You want all of these centers stacked on top of each other to balance your weight and to find a good postural alignment. I like to imagine that I have a string that connects from my pelvis all the way through the top of my head. When I pull on it, I find alignment. Together, let's relax and find a bad posture. Now tug on that string again and find that balance, all 3 weights stacked. Think about each of the centers of weight you just found and make sure they are all aligned. Now that we have centered our 3 body weights, I want you to bring your attention to your shoulders. You might notice that they are hunched forward. To fix this, we are first going to lean all the way over and let our upper body sway above the ground. Nod your head yes to release any tension you may have in your neck or back. Let your arms limply sway as well. Now imagine you are stacking each vertebrae or backbone one by one as you stand up. Take your time. Remember, you have 33 bones that you want to stack one at a time. Now as you stack your head last onto your spine, I want you to roll your shoulders back. As the head hits position, your shoulders will roll into this position too. Before we more deeply align our shoulders, I want you to become aware of 3 places on your body. First, notice the indent between your collarbone and arm like I am doing. Like in the anatomy video, now feel the back of your shoulder for a hard plate. This is your scapula. Lastly, feel your collarbone and find the muscle that sits right between the bones on the very top of your shoulder. You can feel this muscle go all the way up your neck. Now that you have located these 3 places, we are ready to relax the shoulders. Just a heads up, this exercise should not hurt, so be gentle with yourself. Start by placing your fingers back on the front of your shoulder. Lift straight up. Now imagine that scapula plate moving straight back, keeping the shoulder up. As you slowly let your shoulder relax down, press on that collarbone muscle with alternating fingers. Feel free to pause the video and repeat this as many times as you wish on this shoulder before we move to the next. Now on the other side, again, place your fingers in that indent and lift up. Have your shoulder move straight back from the scapula now, staying up. Lastly, press on the collarbone muscle as you slowly lower your shoulder into place. Do your shoulders feel any different now? Now we are going to check our hip alignment. First, feel the sides of your pelvis like we did earlier in the video. Check to see if they are level in height. Now we are going to exaggerate hip alignments to find equilibrium. Tilt your pelvis as far forward as you can. You can imagine the pelvis is a bowl full of water to help visualize this. And to tilt forward, you are spilling the water forward. Now tilt as far back as you can, spilling the water out the back of your pelvis this time. Tilt forward again, and then back again. Keep doing this until you can find the middle where the water is perfectly level, not spilling out the front or back. Now your hips are aligned. The last place we are going to talk about today are the legs and feet. You may have taken a dance class where you were asked to stand in parallel. This is where your feet face straight forward, not turned out like in ballet, at a hip's distance apart. Turn your feet out. Now turn them in. Find straight forward. Now locate your hips. Make sure your feet are directly under the middle of your hip joint. You also want your knees in line with your feet and hips. Try bending your knees a bit to feel this position. Watch your knees as you bend. Make sure they are traveling directly over your toes, not to the inside or outside of your feet. This is extremely important to avoid knee injury. Whether you are turned out or in parallel, you always want your knees to track over your feet. For one last full body alignment, stand in parallel. Release your upper body and lean over, shaking out your upper body. Now slowly rise, stacking each vertebrae one at a time. Roll your shoulders back with your head as you reach full height. Check to make sure your feet are still in parallel. Tilt your hips forward and back to find equilibrium. Lastly, imagine you have a string sticking out of the top of your head and tug on it to align your 3 body weights. Hold this for a few seconds and take note of how it feels. It may feel awkward if this is not how you are used to standing. It also may feel really strong and relaxing. Whatever you may be feeling, be kind to your body. We all have different ways of holding our posture and moving through the world. Perfect alignment is nearly impossible, and it can take time to improve your posture. Now you know how to find this alignment, so revisit these exercises as you wish. Alright, you can relax now. Hopefully you learned some new tricks on how to align your body, and comment below about how it felt to follow along with these activities. Tune in next week for our video on Pilates with Gabi, where we'll be moving a lot more. And please subscribe to the ArtistYear channel. Thanks and bye!